Welcome to my skate park progress guide. This is going to walk you through how to conquer the skate park on your Surfskate, starting from the easier tricks and building your way up to the more difficult tricks and using the right obstacles for these different maneuvers. Let's get into it. Hey guys, first of all, let me just apologize for my voice. 'Tis the season for getting sick and you'll have to deal with the nasal congestion. But just a quick message that this is a sneak preview video from my patron channel, the Surfskate Underground. On the Surfskate Underground, I've got videos like this that walk you through progression steps. I've got over 25 different tutorials. I've got Surfskate discussion. I've got Surfskate film reviews, just all sorts of content there. I think up to over 70 posts now. And for only $5 a month, you can get access to all of that. Anyway, I hope you enjoy this preview video and definitely be sure to go check out the Surfskate Underground. Some of the tutorials that I mentioned in this video are going to refer to other tutorials that are housed there. Thanks for watching. The very first skill you need to learn to open all the doors to the other things in the skate park is how to roll in on a ramp. Okay, the first thing you're going to want to learn that's different from flat ground is how to roll into a bank. So find the easiest, least steep one that you can find, and you're just going to practice getting your shoulders right. So dropping your front shoulder, keeping your knees really well bent for the downhill part. The other thing too is I see a lot of beginners who will start right at the edge, and that is not ideal. What you want to do is give yourself as much time as possible to get your feet ready. So the further back you start, you can get your feet right, get your weight right, just bring a little bit of momentum in, and then do the drop. So here with Samantha, we are going to practice rolling into a bigger drop. It might be a little bit scary at first. So I'm going to show you the process to go through it step by step to build your confidence and get there. Okay, the first thing we're going to do, we're going to get Samantha on the board. She's going to get her feet set up so it's comfortable. And I'm going to help kind of push her into the ramp so she's going at a steady speed, doesn't have to worry about getting her feet set. And I'll hold on to her hand so that she is nice and stable to get going for the first time. Okay, you ready? So just gentle, keep holding the hand. Yeah. So next strategy is just doing the palm. So what that's doing is it means I'm there for support if she needs it, but she's going to try not to hold on to it unless she feels like she needs it. It's just kind of a mental support system. So I'm just going to have my hand there underneath hers and give her a little bit of a roll to start. She's doing all the work. Alright, so after we've done that a few times, then it's just about being there for support but not actually doing any work. So I'm going to be here so she knows I'm there to catch her in case something goes wrong, but she's going to be doing all the work herself. Yeah. Nice. So once you've mastered rolling in on the ramps, it's time to get to the first maneuvers, and I've put those at 2 and 3 at backside and frontside snaps. Some people are more comfortable with backside, some people are more comfortable with frontside. So these are kind of equivalent. It doesn't matter which one you start first, whichever one you feel more comfortable with. Now I'm assuming you've already done these on flat land, so I'm not going to go through all the tutorials again and repeat myself. If you learn how to slide on flat land, if you learn how to do snaps, it's essentially the same thing, and in fact I think it's actually even easier because you have gravity working in your favor. So you feel that point where you start to lose momentum, you throw your snaps, slide your wheels, turn your shoulders, and then you just let gravity take you back down the ramp. So if you can do snaps on flat land, you can do them on the ramp, and you've got your very first trick unlocked. Now it's going to feel satisfying to do these first. I would start on a mellow bank, but there's always room to grow. So once you have them on a mellow bank, take it to a steeper bank, to a bigger bank. And then once you have those unlocked, you can get into a quarter pipe or a bowl and try to do them on transition. That's going to be a little bit trickier, but with practice, I still think these are the easiest all around. So learn your frontside and backside snaps, and that's going to open up other tricks that we'll get into. First example being the roundhouse cutback, because this is essentially a backside snap, but you're just doing a nice big deep carve in the pocket before you throw that snap. So with this one, it's just basically about practicing your line, approaching the corner and getting a nice deep carve, staying low and looking over your shoulder so that you can spot that point on the wall where you're going to throw your backside snap. It's as simple as that. It just takes a lot of practice getting that carve right to set yourself up for the snap, and you got a roundhouse cutback. Next up after that are the bird slides, backside and frontside bird slides. And again, you'll be starting on a bank and then eventually taking it to a quarter pipe or on transition. And I have tutorials on this on my YouTube channel. So again, I don't want to recreate that here, but this is the next step. After you learn to snap, that same kind of motion translates. You're just getting your hand down. I have lots of guidance on this on YouTube and on Instagram and here. So if you're having any difficulty, let me know in the comments and I can give you some guidance. But otherwise, let's move on to the next one. All right, this next one, the 360 bird slide, is not really like that common of a trick, but it's still one that if you can do backside bird slides, it's something I think you should try. It works really well on a bank. So basically, as you do your backside bird slide, you just keep on rotating and keep pushing. You can use your other hand to kind of stabilize yourself because the hardest part is riding away fakie. But doing this trick and pushing that slide on the wheels, it's going to slow down your speed. So by the time you do come out, it just takes a lot of practice getting your balance and rolling back out of it fakie. After you've mastered all these, you're ready for the classic Surfskate maneuver, the layback. I think this is the most elegant looking move you can do on a surf skate. So this is all about getting a big twist of your upper body, making sure you're getting maximum lean so that you're leaning on that heel side edge and then pushing out with your back foot. It takes a lot of rotation in the hips, it takes a lot of commitment, it takes committing to the lean back, but this is, I think, the Surfskate maneuver that you're working towards. So it's number 8 on the list, and it works really well on banks when you're starting to learn, and then it takes a bit of adjustment to try to get it on a quarter pipe, but this is something once you've mastered the other ones, especially frontside snaps and frontside bird slides, that you can work towards. Alright, now let's move into some coping tricks, and we're going to start with the simple carve grind. So this might not be as hard as a layback, because essentially you're just getting comfortable with riding up a quarter pipe or a bowl and getting the trucks right over onto the coping. You're still keeping your weight on the inside, but it is intimidating. So even though it might not be a hard trick, it is something that takes some mental preparation. But once you get there, you're just arcing up, getting your trucks on the coping and coming right back down. So for me, doing this front side was a lot harder to commit to mentally, but once you go for it, you can get it. So front side and back side, I'm putting carve grinds at number 9 on your list. The next step from carve grinds is the slash grind. So essentially we're keeping our weight mostly the same, but we're doing a little kick turn at the top when we reach the coping so that you're grinding only on your back trucks. Your front truck is staying in the air. But unlike a 5-0 grind, you are keeping your weight inside the bowl or inside the quarter pipe, inside the mini ramp. So front side, back side, again, much harder for me doing it front side, but whichever is more comfortable for you, start with that first. That brings us to the 50-50 grind. So it's similar to a carve grind, except you're actually getting right up on top of the deck. So you can extend these grinds longer than a carve grind. They take a little bit more finesse to get into, but I do have on my Patreon site a recent tutorial that'll walk you through this step, so I'm not going to repeat it all here. The last grind we're going to cover in this video is the Smith grind. You can think of this as kind of a bonus trick. It's one that is approached similarly to doing a 50-50 where you want to get right onto the deck, but you're actually over rotating. So like a slash grind, you're just turning more so that your front trucks come right back into the bowl or into the mini ramp. So you're going to get onto your back trucks and slide only on your back trucks with your front trucks inside the bowl. I will have a tutorial specifically dedicated to this trick coming out soon. Moving on to our last section, and this is where we're actually getting off the ground. We're going to start with a fly out. So I do have tutorials for this on Patreon, how to build up your flyouts. But basically this is one where you want to have a lot of comfort riding in bowl so that you can bring speed. Because speed is what you need, and you need to be not afraid to commit. So the biggest thing is just lifting your legs up as you're coming out of the bowl with speed. The mechanics of this trick aren't actually that complex, but it takes a lot of comfort on your board to have the courage, I guess, to approach it. So that's why I put this at number 13. You could actually learn this before some of the things like coping tricks or laybacks. All right, the last one on the list is the backside or frontside early grab airs. So this is when you're getting right up above the coping but coming back down into the bowl or into the quarter pipe. So this takes speed, it takes flexibility, it takes being really comfortable with riding on transition, and timing is important too. So this is the one that I think is kind of the last one you should be shooting towards. It takes lots of practice, but the good thing is you can build your way up to it little by little. You don't have to go over the coping to start with. So start small, just do little early grab 180s below the coping, get comfortable with them, and you can add the power, you can add the height as you work your way up. So that's a wrap on this video. These are the 14 tricks that I think you can start to have a really good solid foundation of riding at the skate park. Obviously, there's no limit to what you can do on a surf skate at a skate park. This is just kind of the starting point to get the foundations down. Hope you found it useful. Looking forward to seeing you all ripping it up at the skate park. And let me know if you have any questions or if you need guidance to where I have some of my full tutorials on the individual tricks. Thanks, guys.